part of the fun of being a Wolverine is dismissing the Spartans.
Sometimes you get your little brother excited, let him get the lead, then you just come back and take it back.
Did you think of Michigan State as your little brother?
Yep.
Lately, that hasn't been the case.
They want to mock us all they want to mock us. I'm telling them it's not over. We'll never be over here.
The past decade, Michigan State has owned the rivalry. Today, the talk, the disrespect, the resentment gets settled. And one thing means everything. Welcome to Spartan Stadium, and we've got one of the hottest games of the week for you here on Fox as the 6th-ranked Michigan Wolverines come into town to take on the 24th-ranked Spartans of Michigan State. The standings in the Big Ten: Ohio State and Michigan top of the table. Michigan State at 2-1. A win today will go a long way for Sparty and the Spartans. Hi everybody, Gus Johnson along with my partner Joel Klatt, and welcome to East Lansing, Michigan. Michigan State, one of the great rivalries in college sports. Michigan comes into this game on a 3-game gauntlet. They took care of Wisconsin last week. They've got Penn State in a couple of weeks, but they need this one
bad. I mean, obviously for control in the Big Ten East, they control their own fate. I would argue for the college football playoffs, so the implications of this one are huge. Not to mention that 1-5 record against their rivals. They want to put that one to bed, but it all starts with their quarterback, Shea Patterson. Gus, he's been the missing piece of the puzzle for this Jim Harbaugh era Michigan team. A quarterback that can convert with his feet, get the ball down the field with his arm. He's playing terrific football right now for the Wolverines, but it's still all about defense. A punishing defense led by Don Brown, their defensive coordinator. They're one of the best in the entire country. They're fast, they're aggressive, they're hungry, and I tell you what, we saw them pregame, they mean business today. Watch out.
No doubt about it. As for Michigan State, they went up to Happy Valley and beat the Nittany Lions last week, and their quarterback put in some work on that final drive.
And he had to. He was forced into a corner. They had 6 starters that did not make the trip offensively to Penn State. What'd they do? Just went out there and upset the Nittany Lions, and it was about Brian Lewerke and Felton Davis. Those 2 guys were terrific in that ball game. They're going to have to do the same today against a very good defense in Michigan if they want to pull off this upset at home and take down another top 10 team.
But time now to join the 3rd member of our team on the sideline, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft.
Well, Gus, we hear it all the time. This game is personal. What does that mean? 50 Wolverines and 50 Spartans are from the state of Michigan. It's not just personal, it's in their blood, and tensions have been high all day. About 2 hours ago, before this game, when Michigan State players took the field for their pregame walk, a few Wolverines were already out there, including Devin Bush Jr., and trust me, guys, it did not end well with him pleating the Spartans logo at the 50. Everyone inside this place heard about it. They were talking about it, and they were not happy about it. Michigan's Ben Bredesen put it this way: we hate each other. Today is going to be a street fight.
We love street fights here in the state of Michigan. No problem at all. Michigan won the toss. They'll receive. The weather should be interesting. We're expecting rain, possibly lightning, possibly snow, and 25 to 30 mile-per-hour winds to hit in about 2 hours. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft. Spartans will send it away. Take a look at the series note. Michigan State on the bottom. They've won 4 of the last 5. They're playing for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Cole Hahn will send it away. Thomas and Brad Hawkins are the deep men. Spartans, Wolverines, here we go. And Michigan will down it in the end zone. And that brings out Shea Patterson, the Ole Miss transfer.
You know what's so interesting about these games, if we talk about the emotion, and everybody's emotions are high, it's imperative for a quarterback to make sure that you walk out onto that field and have some sense of calm in front of your unit. He's 10-3 touchdowns to interceptions this season. That's been a huge key for Michigan. This guy can convert with his feet. Watch out, last week, an 81-yard run that set them up for a score against Wisconsin.
First down and 10 to the 25, Karan Higdon. A very talented running back. He ran for 105 yards and a touchdown against the Badgers last week. His 5th straight 100-yard game. Patterson rolls out of the pocket, throws on the move. That ball is incomplete. Intended for Grant Perry. And winning on first down is crucial for the Wolverines.
Crucial, and I'm not surprised that they went to a spread set, lots of wide receivers, and tried to throw the ball because they're facing the #1 rush defense in all of college football. These guys up front can get it done, and they are zeroed in on that running game for the Wolverines today.
2nd down and 10 at the 25. And they'll run. Patterson with the lane. Patterson dives forward. Shot down as David Dowell got him. But Shea Patterson, as you mentioned, Joel, he's very fleet of foot.
Yeah, and you wouldn't say he's necessarily a guy that's going to get out there and win the game for you with his feet. However, it was his ability to run last week that opened up the playbook and allowed them to start moving the ball, in particular in the run game against Wisconsin. Here now in the 3rd and 4, they're having some trouble getting lined up in their formation.
Opening series for the Wolverines. On 3rd and 4 at the 31, empty backfield for Patterson. Michigan State showing blitz. They back out of it. Patterson delivers it. It's complete over the middle. Grant Perry found a soft spot and gained 7 on 3rd and 4. First down, Wolverine.
And a terrific throw. This is what I'm talking about remaining calm on that 3rd down. Patterson calmly finds his easiest wide receiver, just a little curl route for a first down, and he puts it right on his frame. Accurate throw allows for the conversion there on a 3rd and short.
Chris Evans now checks in the game at running back. He returned last week after missing 3 games to injury. First down to the 38-yard line. Patterson gives it to Evans. Evans cuts it back up and crosses the 40. Gets up to around the 43 before being stopped by Naquan Jones.
Because you've already mentioned the importance of first down, and Michigan is so much better this year on first down than they were a year ago. They're averaging 2.5 yards more on first down this year than they were a year ago. They're all the way up at about 7.7 yards per play on first down. That's 9th in college football.
2nd and 6 at the 42. Evans remains in the game as the single setback. And they run the reverse around the corner. Ronnie Bell, and Bell gets close to the first down marker. Ronnie Bell stopped by Andrew Dowell. 3rd down and 3 at the 45. And Michigan will not get it because that Spartan defense was ready. Mike Ponishuk, first man to him. And the Wolverines will have to punt it away.
I'm surprised that Patterson didn't keep this ball. Watch this. He's got to read. All he's got to do, he's got a blocker. He can head around the edge, probably get the conversion. In particular with that tight end coming around the edge, he gives it into the middle of that defense. That's the #1 rush defense in college football. Very conservative there on 3rd down.
So Will Hart comes in to punt it away. He's standing at his own 31, 2nd nationally with an average of 51.1 yards per kick. Delivers this one. And this one will go into the end zone for a touchback. A 54-yard punt, and we'll stay right here on the road.
Yeah, and really all day he was very good. 259 yards against that defense, 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and he had to be great. This guy is going to have a little help today, though. They're getting their starting running back into the lineup. L.J. Scott, terrific runner, has led them 3 straight season rushing. He's back in the lineup after suffering an ankle injury all the way back in the Arizona State game, so we'll see how effective he can be.
So he missed 4 straight games. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. And he'll run it on first down, gets to the line of scrimmage and gains about a half yard. Chase Winovich defensively for the Wolverines.
I tell you what, man, this defense, it's like you want to say, like, hey, here's the players to watch. All of them. I mean, they got so many stars on this defense. Great players. Chase Winovich is one of them. Devin Bush, the middle linebacker, is playing as well as any middle linebacker in the country. Rashawn Gary, one of the better Wolverines, not here today. He is injured. He did not make the trip and will not be on the field for Michigan. He also didn't play last week, so didn't affect them too much as they were handling Wisconsin at home.
Gary with a shoulder injury. 2nd and 9 at the 21. Lewerke will pass for the first time. Drops it off. L.J. Scott, first down, Spartans. Dangerous, dangerous man. L.J. Scott 2 years ago here against Michigan. 22 carries, 139 yards, and a touchdown. First down and 10 at the 36. L.J. Scott, the single setback. They'll give it to him. Scott running, and he powers his way forward for a couple. Khalid Hudson defensively for the Wolverines.
And L.J. Scott is our one to watch today. Sponsored by Chick-fil-A One. Earn points, redeem rewards. This guy has been the workhorse for Michigan State for quite some time. And they're expecting him to give their run game a boost. This is a team that lives on the run game. They come in 115th in college football running the football. They're 116th in rushing average at under 4 yards per carry. So L.J. Scott, quite a task to try to improve that run game against Michigan today.
Scott lines up as a receiver at the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 7 at the 39. Lewerke under. No! What a catch! Unbelievable! Connor Hayward. Stick him.
And he's a running back. This guy's not even a wide receiver. Are you kidding me? He doesn't even need the OBJ gloves. Wow. There's the ump cam. I wonder if it touched the ground when it was still not controlled yet. Boy, that's a tough one. We had that great look from the ump cam, but I would snap it as quickly as they can to try to avoid a review.
1st and 10 at the 47. Spartans get it off. Lewerke with time. And incomplete. Felton Davis, the intended receiver, and he got decked. Josh Metellus delivering the wood.
And Metellus, while it looks severe, I mean, an incredible job of keeping his head down to the side, not leading with the crown, and not contacting Felton Davis in the head or neck area. That's a textbook hit. That is exactly what they're trying to get these players to do. Head to the side, lead with the shoulder, below the head or neck area on a defenseless player, and Metellus comes in hot. Wow, he's playing great football right now for Michigan.
2nd and 10 at the 47. Wildcat formation. Ladarius Jefferson takes the snap, runs a football, and Jefferson crosses the line of scrimmage and gets to midfield.
Ladarius Jefferson, a true freshman, who had some big runs last week at the running back position. He was a quarterback in high school and actually led his high school team to a state championship here in Michigan, was the Gatorade Player of the Year in this state. Comes in, switch position to running back, but they can get that Wildcat out of him. Certainly a quality player.
Brings up 3rd down and 7 at midfield for Michigan State. Opening series for the Spartans. Lewerke looking. Lewerke scrambling, and he's sacked. Terrific job by Joshua Uche.
Tell you what, Uche is just motor time. Watch as he's trying to beat Cole Chewins, the left tackle, and he just keeps going, and now he's going to continue on that route. Lewerke didn't have anywhere to go. This is the #1 pass defense in the country. Quarterback looks to his left, nowhere to go. Looks to his right, nowhere to go. Tight man coverage. That's a staple of this Don Brown defense, the coordinator for Michigan.
Tyler Hunt will punt it away from the 26. Donovan Peoples-Jones, the deep man, fields it at the 15. Peoples-Jones looking for a crease. And he stood up and taken down at the 15-yard line. A 45-yard punt and a 1-yard return. Dominique Long with the tackle on special teams. So Shea Patterson, the Wolverines, will start from the 15 right after this. And that's right, they're playing for the Paul Bunyan Trophy today, as they have since 1953. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for the Wolverines. Patterson drops it off in the flats. Chris Evans with the catch. Nice juke. And he'll gain 8, maybe 9 yards on the play. And that Paul Bunyan Trophy, it's 4 foot. A 4-footer wooden statue was donated by the governor, G. Menon Williams, to mark Michigan State's acceptance into the Big Ten back in 1953. Second down and 1 at the 25. Mason Chris Evans line up in a tight eye formation. McCune in motion. They hand it off to the up back, Ben Mason, and he picks up the first down. Mason's 6'3", 254 pounds.
A lot of fans have asked me, what's the difference with Michigan this year? Well, it's not just Shea Patterson. Check out their improvement in some of these critical categories. First down yards per play. Last year 106th, this year 9th. Third down conversions. Last year 116th, this year 13th. Turnovers, they're much better. Sacks allowed, much better. They have improved drastically on the offensive line as a whole, and a running game as a whole, and then obviously at the quarterback position.
Ron Higdon checks back in 1st and 10 at the 27. Play fake. Patterson rolls out, drops it off. This ball caught by his tight end, Sean McCune. And when you look at Jim Harbaugh teams, they love the tight ends.
Oh, love the tight ends. They'll play 2-3 tight ends. They love the play action pass. And what's so interesting, we've had 4 first down snaps of the football for Michigan. And to maintain that success on first down, they've thrown it 3 times. Remember, this is the #1 rush defense in college football. And right now, Jim Harbaugh is relaying on Shea Patterson.
Down into the 35. Here's the handoff. First down, Wolverines. Higdon with a powerful run. Higdon, senior from Sarasota, Florida. Kenny Willekes with the tackle for the Spartans.
Yeah, and this run game with Ron Higdon is going to run into that rush defense, and namely Joe Bocci. Now, this guy, he's a heck of a player. This guy, he's the leader of the defense, and he has to be. When you run this structure of defense, your middle linebacker has got to be not only a great communicator, but a great leader. They say it like this: the other teammates, they got to understand his voice like a kid knows his parents' voice.
1st and 10 at the 41. And Patterson getting out of the pocket and goes down. Tracked down by Khari Willis after a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, and Willis had such a great game last week against Penn State. In fact, he was named the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week after that performance. He had 9 tackles, a couple for loss, was terrific against Penn State in that win. But again, Michigan continues to gain 4 or more yards on first down.
So they're going to take both teams off the field and suspend play because of lightning. As we mentioned,
we knew this was coming, you know, and it was kind of a matter of time. We were hoping that the lightning would not come with the storm, but they're going to have to take both teams off the field and head in as there has been a lightning strike near the stadium.
Rain, lightning, and possibly snow in the forecast with 25 to 30 mile per hour winds. All right, we're ready to resume play after a 1 hour and 15-minute weather delay. Michigan will be faced with a 2nd and 6 at the 45-yard line. Ron Higdon is the tailback. And Higdon stood up and tackled for a loss at the 40. Raekwon Williams, the junior from Chicago, with the tackle.
He's going to be right here at the defensive tackle position. Watch as he's just going to swim around, then he comes right up the field, and he's in the face of Higdon before Higdon can get going. A total missed assignment up front for the offensive line.
A loss of 2, 3rd down and 8 at the 43. Patterson with time all day. And that one broken up, or is it? And they're going to give it a catch to Nico Collins.
Wow, what an adjustment Collins makes. Collins is on his route. Watch as he kind of slips right there. Remember, we had all the rain, and then all of a sudden he goes all the way back for the ball, wrestles it away from David Dowell, the safety, and a conversion for the Wolverines.
Nico Collins, the 3rd leading receiver on this team. That was his 19th catch. Pep Hamilton says he's a big guy that can really sink his hips and change directions. Patterson, deep drop, sets up, steps up, delivers, caught on the sideline. Nick Eubanks, the tight end. That's a gain of 26.
What a throw from Patterson. I thought he was going to go deep for Donovan Peoples-Jones, who I thought was open, but watch this throw. The ball placement up on top of the defender, right over the head of Khari Willis. He takes his tight end, Eubanks, up the ladder. Eubanks goes up and gets it. What a play there from Shea Patterson.
First down and 10 at the 22 for Michigan. Higdon cuts it inside with running room. And Karan Higdon will gain 6 yards on the play.
And that's interesting here because they haven't had much success running the football, Gus, what I would say inside of the tackles. That play was more of what I would call an outside stretch zone play. It's designed to get outside the tackle on that left side, and that's where they found a hole. Very similar to last week against Wisconsin. And John Runyon, the left tackle, had a great game last weekend, number 75. He had a big block on that last play.
Second down and 4 at the 16. Patterson to Higdon again, turns the corner, squares his shoulders, dives, and he's close to the first down. Bocci grabbed his ankle and brought him to the turf.
This has been so critical for Michigan, is to get themselves into this scenario where it's third and short. When you're talking about third and less than 6 yards to convert, they're 12th best in college football, converting at about a 65% clip. This is where they live, right here. This is the quality area for Michigan.
Third down 1 at the Michigan State 13 for the Wolverines. Higdon, first down. Michigan is converting 49% of its third downs this season, third best in the Big Ten behind Ohio State and Iowa.
Yeah, overall, and 13th best in college football. And right there wasn't much room, but Higdon found a little crease and was able to get down behind his pads and get the yard necessary to move the chains.
12th play of the drive that started at the Michigan 16. First down and 10 at the Spartan 11. Higdon again running the football. And when Bo Schembechler coached the Wolverines, the legendary coach who coached Jim Harbaugh and so many great players, the key for his team was to run it, and then run it some more.
And that's really Jim Harbaugh's MO. They came out early in this ball game. They wanted to throw it on first down, but on this series, they clearly went into that locker room, found an adjustment over that left side of the offensive line, that wide zone play. They've run it now 3-4 times on this series.
Second and 7 at the 8. Patterson. This time, it's Evans. He'll lead forward, gain a couple.
Well, this is where
Lewerke with the tackle, and that may take us to the end of the first quarter.
And with the way that they play, it's likely they won't get this snap off. If they do, remember down here near the goal line, left hash, you got a right-handed quarterback on a third down. Expect some sort of rollout to the right here with Shea Patterson. Doesn't look like they'll get this play off.
On 3rd and 6. And that'll take us to the end of the period. No score after 1, but Michigan knocking on the Michigan State door. Back to East Lansing right after this. East Lansing, Michigan, Spartan Stadium. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt, Jenny Taft, and Mike Pereira with us. Third down and 5 at the 6-yard line for the Wolverines. They're 3 of 4 on third down conversions so far. Empty backfield for Patterson. Remember, he can run. Patterson to throw it. Looking. End zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. Nico Collins. And that's the first passing touchdown for Michigan against Michigan State since 2011.
What a series there. It began with the run game coming out of the locker room. Get that long delay, come out of the locker room, allow the offensive linemen to establish some rhythm. They were able to do that, but then it's Patterson with the strike at the back of the end zone. Heck of a series there for Michigan.
Quinn Nordine comes in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. The Wolverines go 14 plays, covering 84 yards. And look at the time of possession, 7 minutes and 56 seconds. Zach Moody will send it away. Connor Hayward is the deep man as Moody slips. This one will be fielded inside the 10-yard line with some good running room for the Spartans. A flag on the play as Michigan State advances the ball to the 30. First down, Lewerke goes deep up the sideline and incomplete. That one thrown a little too far by Lewerke, and that'll bring up second and long.
And they have not had a catch by a wide receiver so far today. They've got right now 2 completions, one out of the backfield to L.J. Scott. Another one was Connor Haywood from the slot, running a little slant. He's a running back. So this pass defense living up to its billing. It's the #1 pass defense in the country.
You expect Felton Davis to start getting more looks from Lewerke. He's such a talented player. 2nd and 10 of the 20. And they run the reverse. Here's Hayward, and Hayward dropped quickly. Michigan defense standing right on the play.
Man, they're just so fast. They're so aggressive. This defensive line, the linebacker core, it's too tough to run away from Michigan. Anytime you get a defense that is fast like this, I think the better plan of attack is running at them or use their aggressiveness against them with the screen game and potentially the quarterback run game.
Tyree Kittle with the tackle there. A senior from Huber Heights, Ohio. 3rd and 11 at the 19. Lewerke over the middle, and nothing. Incomplete once again. Chase Winovich with pressure on Lewerke, and the Spartans will punt.
And he just had to get rid of this ball a beat sooner than he wanted to. Winovich is going to be coming around this left side of the offensive line, and Lewerke wants to get Felton Davis just a little bit more outside to his right, but he can tell that the rush is almost going to get him. Both those rushers for Michigan were bearing down. One of them, Chase Winovich, got home.
Michigan State with 32 yards of offense in 3 series. Donovan Peoples-Jones comes up. Lets it take a bounce, and it will be down close to midfield. 10-14 to play, 2nd quarter. Wolverines with good field position, leading at 7-0. Back after this. So let's take a look, partner, at what's happened so far.
Let's go all the way back to pregame. This was Devin Bush, the middle linebacker from Michigan, clawing at that Spartan in the middle of the field. And then they came out, and they've been playing terrific defensively for the Wolverines. There's been nowhere to go for Michigan State. We had then the weather delay. The weather delay was a little over an hour, about an hour, 20, hour and 30 minutes. The teams had to be in the locker room. When they came out, the best offensive series for either team. Michigan put it together right down the field. Shea Patterson tried to quiet the crowd, found Nico Collins in the back of the end zone, and now the Wolverines are back on offense.
First down at the 42. Higdon. Higdon breaks free. Higdon still on the move. Picks up a first down. Gets down the sideline. Burst of speed. Cuts it inside, and he's down. Inside the Michigan State 20. That's a gain of 38 yards. Joe Bocci with the tackle.
And it probably should have been a loss of 2. Kenny Willekes was around the left side of this offense quickly. Number 48 has Higdon in his sights, but Higdon steps away. He gets that left leg free, breaks another tackle deep. There's a little hat cam from our umpire in the middle of the field, and he was gone down the left sideline.
First down at the 20-yard line for the Wolverines. Higdon again, and Higdon will spin forward. Panashuk with the tackle after a 4-yard gain.
Boy, they are just hammering away on that left side of their offensive line.
John Runyon's over there.
John Runyon, 6'5", 310. Ben Bredesen, a junior, 6'5", 320 pounds, voted a team captain. Jim Harbaugh had a lot of quality things to say about Ben Bredesen, and they're trying to ride that left side as much as they can.
On 2nd and 6, Higdon. He'll churn his way through the hole. Picks up 3. Panashuk again.
I don't want to leave out Cesar Ruiz, number 51, the center, because Michigan does something, and Stanford does this a lot too. They're one of the few teams that will actually pull their center out and actually get him leading up in front of those running backs. And Cesar Ruiz does a great job of that at 6'4", 319 pounds.
Third down and 3 at the 13. Michigan 0 for their last 3 on third down conversion. Here's Patterson rolling. Patterson. And he'll be sacked. Andrew Dowell with the sack, 5-yard loss.
You got to throw this ball, and I think that's what Jim Harbaugh is telling him right now, because he's got Donovan Peoples-Jones. Watch Peoples-Jones as he's going to force his way up into the end zone, and then he's going to look inside. That space, you got to give him a chance. He's got 3 yards, 2 yards there on the defender, and Patterson's got that whole corner to throw the ball to. There's no reason to hold on to it, and now they're going with the field goal kicker, Quinn Nordin.
So here's Nordin. He was 3 for 5 against Wisconsin last week. Missed from 54 and 41. Oh, my goodness.
Heck of a job by this defense. Obviously helped out by Nordin, who just absolutely hooks it. The duck hook knuckleball. Not even close. And after 3 straight possessions that Michigan started on the plus side of their own 40-yard line, once on the plus side of the 41 at the 51 inside Michigan State territory, and they come away with 0 total points. This defense has got to be thrilled. Sometimes your defense can create momentum for your offense. Let's see if that's the case here for Michigan State, who needs it desperately.
First down and 15 for Lewerke.
You're having a hard enough time making first downs, much less with 15.
Here's Lewerke, sprints out of the pocket, looks, delivers, and caught for first down. Stewart picked it up off the turf, and that may get this Spartan squad motivated. That's a gain of 17 yards.
And they're going to try to get some tempo here to try to get some rhythm in the offense.
Ooh, I don't know. Lewerke gets the snap off, throws to the sideline. No flag on the play. Felton Davis, the intended receiver, looks like he was held, but no call. David Long covering for Michigan.
A lot of bang-bang plays here. They get the snap off, avoid the review on the last play, but then David Long probably got away with one on that far side. A lot of contact holding Felton Davis as he tried to get to that ball.
2nd and 10 at the 30. Lewerke serving, and he's sacked. 2nd sack of the day. Uche, he's got 2. Joshua Uche, the junior from Miami, with his 2nd sack here in the first half.
And you're getting some of these guys that are getting a chance because Rashawn Gary is not on the field, banged up with that shoulder, and Uche has taken advantage. I tell you what, man, these corners, David Long, this guy was a 4-star recruit, top 100 player nationally out of high school, out of the LA area in California, and he's just right there, almost a gift from Lewerke. This is exactly what I told you Lewerke had to avoid. Almost gives it to Michigan right there on their side of the 50.
6th punt of the game for Tyler Hunt. He gets that one off. Donovan Peoples-Jones fields it, tries to get outside, and does. Peoples-Jones cuts it in, and he's at midfield. A 40-yard punt and a 16-yard return. Wolverines have 1 timeout, 45 seconds to play from the 48. Patterson drops it off and incomplete. Gentry, closest man to the football for Michigan.
You know, it's interesting because during the week, Shea Patterson was talking a lot in several articles about the fact that he wanted to be a better game manager, and that's the progression that he wanted to do. I actually disagree with the way that this game is going. He game manages just fine. He's got to take some chances with these big wide receivers. Allow them to go make a play for him down the field. A lot of holding the football in the pocket that I don't think is necessary.
2nd and 10 of the 48. Patterson. And to the flats to Higdon, and he'll get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
This is one of those opportunities. Remember, Michigan came into this game dead last in college football, converting on 3rd and long, 7 or more yards. I believe it has to do with Patterson allowing his wide receivers to win. He's got a big mismatch at the top of your screen. To Patterson's right, he's got Nico Collins. It looks to be in a one-on-one situation.
Here's Patterson. Holding the ball. Patterson delivers. Incomplete. Donovan Peoples-Jones, the intended receiver. He was covered, though, by Kari Willis and Xavier Henderson.
I still like the attempt, though. I mean, give him a chance. Get the ball down the field. It does a couple of different things. One, it forces the defense to make a play. It also gets the safeties out of the box. It forces them to cover the length of the field, and potentially it can open up your run game later in the game.
So Michigan will punt it away. 5th punt of the game for Will Hart. Now, Hart has been a weapon for this Wolverine team.
30 seconds.
The Wolverines are 11th in the country in net punting, gaining 42 yards of field position on average each time they kick it. And with English, it'll be down at the 10 with 19, making 18 seconds remaining in the first half.
With this aggressive of a defense, the last thing you would want to do is create some sort of wild play.
Michigan State, 25 plays, 50 yards. And Lewerke will take a knee. It's been a defensive battle here in East Lansing. Michigan State, Michigan, both having problems moving the football.
I would be thrilled if I was Michigan State to only be down 7 with those 4 series in a row that their defense was their backs against the walls, and we're going to have some jawing here as they head in.
Halftime here at Spartan Stadium, 7-0. Michigan leads Michigan State. Right now, we'll send you to Rob Stone in Los Angeles. 7-0. The Wolverines lead the Spartans as we head to the second half. Gus Johnson, along with my partner Joel Klatt, defensive battle in that first half. Both offenses struggling.
They really did. It was really one series for Michigan that they got going offensively and ultimately put the ball in the end zone. It was right after the delay. And a team that really dominated the first half in the Michigan Wolverines is only up 7-0. They ran about 37 plays in that first half. Gus, 20 of them were in the opposition's territory. They should be up 17-0, 24-0 pretty easily, but they're not.
Michigan State to receive the football to start the second half. Hayward, the deep man. And this one will begin at the goal line, and the Spartans will get it up to the 17. Hayward. Let's go downstairs to Jenny Taft.
Well, Gus, I was walking off the field with Coach Harbaugh when that altercation between the two teams took place. He was not happy about it. He ran over, tried to get his guys to the locker room as fast as he could. He told me, we need to play smart football. That's not it. We've got a lot to do still in the second. And Coach D'Antonio, guys, in terms of getting that offense going, they were held scoreless against this team in the first. That hasn't been done since 2012. He said we need to execute better, play within our system. Unfortunately, that's without Felton Davis. He has torn his Achilles, guys. A big loss for the offense.
Oh, terrible. First down and 10 at the 17. Let's see if they really start giving the ball to L.J. Scott. Lewerke underneath, and it's caught. Terrific route by Cam Chambers, and he'll gain 22.
Excellent route. Got to the inside, runs a little slant, and then the ball was absolutely on the money. There is a flag. What is in the backfield right now, so we'll have to see.
Ooh, late hit by Winovich. Or maybe even a later hit by Reed.
Personal foul. Defense, number 15. The 15-yard penalty would be added on at the end of the run. Personal.
And a huge mistake, and this is what happens when you let a team off the hook in the first half. Then one mistake can change the complexion of the game. In a one-score game now, all of a sudden, Michigan State snaps the football one time, and they're on the plus side of the 50-yard line. Got to capitalize on this momentum. Look for some creativity here offensively. Without Felton Davis, you've got to get L.J. Scott involved in the offense, maybe some screen passes, potentially even some more of Ladarius Jefferson out of that wildcat position as well.
So a 22-yard gain on the pass play plus the personal foul penalty. Michigan State with the football to the Michigan 28-yard line. Lewerke incomplete. That one thrown behind his intended receiver, Justin Lane. Now, Justin Lane is a junior from Cleveland. He's listed on the depth chart as a defensive back, but because of the injuries, he's playing wide receiver today.
Well, I mean, the injuries have just taken their toll, and now with Felton Davis out, that's why I said they're going to have to get creative, because they don't have a core of wide receivers that is, one, healthy, or two, experienced. The most experienced guy is going to be Darrell Stewart, a heck of a receiver. This is his first game back from an injury, so we'll see what they can do on the outside.
2nd and 10 at the 28. Michigan helping Michigan State with 2 personal foul penalties on this series. Lewerke in trouble. Lewerke delivers, and it's an incomplete pass intended for Brandon Sowers.
Yeah, and a really smart play from Sowers, because he understood he was about to lose about 10 yards if he catches that pass. It hit him, and as he's going to the ground, he just kind of drops it and then signals for the official like, hey, I dropped it. No, that's an incomplete pass. He's a senior, and a heck of a play there, because losing any type of yardage before a conversion opportunity, in particular when you're already in field goal range, would have been devastating. So a huge play by Brandon Sowers on what looks like just a regular incompletion.
Senior from Wyandotte Roosevelt High School. 3rd down and 10 at the 28. And they'll run it. Wildcat formation. Hayward, and he's dropped for a loss.
That's exactly why you take that penalty. Great game management from the bench from Jim Harbaugh and Michigan, understanding that his defense is one of the best in the country at tackles for loss. They get over 7 per game. They take the penalty. Then they get a negative play, and now Michigan State is forced totally out of field goal range, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Kwity Paye, who's been balling out this season for Michigan, with the tackle. Tyler Hunt with his 7th punt of the game. Donovan Peoples-Jones standing inside his own 15. And it's fair caught at the 11. 12:51 to play, 3rd quarter. 7-0. Here come the Wolverines. Seven to nothing right now. Shea Patterson, 9 of 15, 86 yards and a touchdown. Wolverines start deep in their own territory at their own 11. Karan Higdon in the backfield, almost begging for the football. He'll get it. Wow, what a play, blown up in the backfield. Higdon just upended by Willekes.
Yeah, Willekes is just owning the tight ends right now, and that might have shaken Higdon up, who came up a little gingerly with that left leg. Willekes is just doing a heck of a job right now. The tight ends do not have the ability to block him off the edge. That was Zach Gentry trying to make a play.
2nd and 12 at the 9. Play fake. Patterson, sideline. Thrown high and incomplete. Nico Collins couldn't get up to get it.
And that ball looked like it slipped out of his hands. The rain is starting to fall again here at Spartan Stadium. And this is the conditions I always felt like were tougher as a quarterback, when it was just slightly raining, because that ball just gets a little bit damp. It gets much slicker at that point. You either want it soaking wet or completely dry. I've always thought that this is the toughest time to throw the ball, and he's in that situation here. 3rd and long, backed up.
3rd down and 12 at the 9. Patterson will hand it off to Evans, and he swung, fumble. Spartans have it. First turnover of the game. And Michigan State has it deep in Michigan territory.
I think it was Raekwon Williams who came back to get the strip.
Brandon Boyer-Randall with the recovery.
There he is, big Raekwon Williams. See how he comes in with that right paw? He gets it, and then 26, Boyer-Randall jumps on the ball. And when you do not capitalize on field position, you allow a team to be within one score, then you're one play away from being in a tie ball game. And that's essentially what Michigan has allowed Michigan State to do. Brian Lewerke and this Spartans offense have a heck of an opportunity, but they've got to capitalize here.
The Spartans first down and goal at the Michigan 7. Lewerke hands it off. Scott. And Scott dragged down inside the 5 by Devin Bush.
I mean, this looked like it was wide open, and then all of a sudden, Bush is going to close. Watch his Bush. Here he comes, and then he's just going to keep coming, and he's right there. Bam. That hole was wide open, and then number 10 closes it down as quickly as it's opened up.
A 3-yard gain, second and goal at the 4. Can Michigan State pay it off? They pitch it. The reverse. Lewerke's open. Touchdown, Spartans. Down, Stewart. Mark D'Antonio pulling out another wrinkle. He did it last week at Penn State. A fake punt. A halfback pass. A fake field goal. And now his quarterback is on the receiving end of a touchdown.
We know what this play is. Philly, Philly. Except this time, it's at Michigan State to Brian Lewerke.
Coughlin comes in. And we're level at 7. Michigan State forces the turnover. 7-7 back after this. Brian Lewerke with his first career reception. It goes for a touchdown. Stewart with his first career pass attempt. It goes for a touchdown. 7 up in East Lansing, Michigan. Michigan State. Line drive kick, bobbled, and finally picked up at the 7-yard line by Thomas. And Thomas is down quickly at the 12. First down and 10 at the 21 for Michigan. Patterson. Winding up. He's got a receiver. Peoples-Jones down the sideline. Peoples-Jones. Touchdown, Wolverines. 79 yards.
What I tell you earlier, give these guys a chance. I believe the best players on this offense are standing at the wide receiver position with Nico Collins and Donovan Peoples-Jones. And Patterson delivered a great ball on that outside. I mean, that was a perfectly thrown ball. But how about the athleticism of Peoples-Jones? Steps away from the tackler and goes the distance for the Wolverines. Lightning in a bottle.
13-7. Nordine in to attempt the extra point. And it's good. 2:24 to go in the third quarter. 14-7 Michigan. But this one just getting started from East Lansing. Back after this. A 79-yard touchdown strike from Patterson to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Michigan takes a 14-7 lead.
Oof. I mean, how about that for a little step away from Donovan Peoples-Jones? And the throw was brilliant from Shea Patterson. He gave him a chance, you know. Hey, step back there, give your big athlete a chance on the outside, and he did that, and they were successful.
And this one fair caught inside the 10. First down and 10 for Lewerke and the Spartans at their own 25. Here's Lewerke, delivers, and incomplete. Looking for Hayward.
Well, and the guy in there pressuring, again, is our hardest working player, sponsored by Duluth Trading Company. Tough, ingenious workwear designed and tested by tradesmen. You talk about a tradesman, I'll bring you Chase Winovich. He is a pass rushing tradesman. 4 tackles, 3 QB hits, half tackle for loss, but it's all the pressures that he's been having. Lewerke has had no time, and he's had to throw the ball several times away because of number 15.
Lewerke 5 of 21, 66 yards. Michigan State getting away from the run right now. Here's Lewerke, looks backside, incomplete again. Stewart, the intended receiver.
Oh, and he was open, and he knows it. Stewart knows it. Lewerke, he got back late. Watch as Stewart is going to win on the outside. Great move outside. That's 3 times now he's given David Long that outside move, coming back for the slant, and Lewerke knows that he wants it back. All he's got to do is set his feet, get his eyes to the throw a little bit quicker, and he can deliver an accurate ball. He might still be running. I mean, Stewart ran a great route.
Third down and 10 of the 25. Michigan State 0 for 9 on third down conversions. Lewerke looking, and another incomplete pass. Cam Chambers, the intended receiver. Nobody open, Joel.
Nobody open. There is a reason that for 2 straight years, Don Brown's defense has led the country in pass defense. They are blankets on the outside, and they're on pace to do it for a 3rd straight year. This guy's one of, if not the best defensive coordinator in all of college football, and he's got a defense right now that is playing at an extremely high level.
Tyler Hunt punting for the 10th time from his own 11. And Donovan Peoples-Jones lets it take a bounce and goes down at the 16-yard line, a 59-yard punt. First down and 10 of the 16 for Shea Patterson and the Michigan offense. Up by 7. Patterson pulls it out, drops it down, incomplete.
Yep, better he dropped it. That would have gone for a loss.
Nick Eubanks, the tight end, the intended receiver.
And Andrew Dowell with great coverage, number 5. There for the Spartans. It was all over him, closing fast. I wondered if Michigan was going to get back to this play action pass, get their tight ends involved. Early in this game, Jim Harbaugh had his tight ends involved in the game plan on the outside, and some of those little bootleg concepts, they've gone away from that. It's been primarily just straightforward run plays and then trying to allow Peoples-Jones and Nico Collins to make a play on the outside.
Second and 10 at the 16. Patterson. Now he'll dance. Looking. Throws. Oh, caught! What a catch by Zach Gentry!
Well, I don't know. I think Gentry was out of bounds, came back inbounds, is then, but he wouldn't have been the first to touch it.
There's no foul for illegal touching. The ball was tipped. First down, Michigan.
So Gentry definitely was out of bounds. The hat comes off, but remember, that was intended for Nico Collins, and then when it was batted up into the air, or excuse me, Donovan Peoples-Jones thrown a little bit behind him. I mean, so fortunate that that wasn't picked off by Joe Bocci Jr. And then Gentry, right place, right time, and he's right there to go ahead and make the catch. That left foot was establishing him back in the field of play before he touched that ball, so that's why it's a legal catch.
A 16-yard gain, first down at the 32. Second time Michigan has benefited from that kind of tipped ball, and reception is Higdon. Stopped by Bocci.
Gentry has been a huge weapon for them. He's 6'8", 262 pounds. Last year, he won the most improved offensive player at their team awards banquet. He was a 3-year starter at the quarterback position in high school, understands the game very well. It helps him tremendously at that tight end position.
He's on the Mackey Award watch list. 2nd and 5 at the 37. Higdon, following his blocks, picks up a first down and more. Secures the football as he gets inside Michigan State territory for a gain of 14 yards.
Well, we're just talking about Gentry. Watch this. He's going to mash down that left side of the defensive line. That's Lewerke, who's caused him so many problems, and that's what opens up the pulling tight end, 84, Sean McCune. And McCune gets another block, and Higdon's able to wiggle through and gain some more positive yards.
How about Higdon? 20 carries, 96 yards rushing, closing in on his 6th consecutive 100-yard game.
And getting better and better and better, it seems, as the game goes along, exactly as he did a week ago.
Into the 3rd quarter. Coming up, the 4th 7-point ball game in one of the greatest rivalries in college football. Michigan State. Start of the 4th quarter in East Lansing, 14-7, Michigan leading Michigan State. 1st and 10 of the 49 for Patterson and the Wolverines. Bell in motion. Higdon closing in on 100 yards. Not much there as Panashuk comes up with the tackle. And the thing about these Spartans under Coach D'Antonio, they may not have the 5-star recruits, but they got guys with 5-star hearts.
Yeah, and that's the way that they've built this program. They've got guys that have walked on like Kenny Willekes. They've got guys like Joe Bocci that are great leaders, Butkus Award candidates, but that's how they build this program, with these guys with an enormous chip on their shoulder, and this is when they hope it pays dividends.
2nd and 10 at the 49. It has in the past. Patterson delivers down the field. And incomplete. Donovan Peoples-Jones gave up on his route. That ball thrown long. Shakir Brown defensively.
An interesting set of downs here because Michigan has to be on schedule to stay on the field. They are just not good in this scenario. The pass rush has gotten to them, namely Kenny Willekes. They have not gotten much separation on the edge in these 3rd and long situations. This certainly plays into Michigan State's hands and how they want to play defense.
Perry and Peoples-Jones line up on the far side of the field. Perry has found soft spots in that Michigan State defense. 3rd and 10 at the 49. They throw it far side. Collins. And Collins short of the 1st down.
Ooh, you know, with the way that defense is playing, he might have created a short enough 4th down opportunity where Jim Harbaugh will think about going for it, and he will. Here come the big fellas. The 2 tight ends. You're bringing McCune on the field, Eubanks on the field. The tight end, fullback Ben Mason, and the Wolverines will go for it on 4th.
4th down and 2. Ben Mason, the power back in the backfield. Patterson keeps it, picks up the 1st down, hits the sideline, covers himself up, and is down to the Michigan State 30. An 11-yard gain. Shakir Brown with the tackle.
What a great read from Patterson. Watch as his eyes are going to go all over the defensive end. Bang, Willekes is down low, and now Patterson's going to find himself all the way on the edge with a great read, exactly like last week against Wisconsin. When they needed a big play, it was Patterson's legs that delivered. That's the 7th time that Patterson has converted a 3rd down with his feet this season.
Partner, that was actually a 4th down. 1st and 10 at the 30. And the handoff, Higdon. Higdon still moving, power running. Karan Higdon.
I always just think everything's 3rd down in my mind. In those critical downs, you're absolutely right. What a huge play on 4th down. And then Higdon gets himself loose in the middle there. A great play by Patterson.
Higdon, 22 carries, 105 yards.
Man, workhorse, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Rhythm, too. Once they've gotten him in rhythm, he's gotten better and better.
6 straight 100-yard games. 2nd and 1 at the 21. Higdon again. And a first down. Lucas with the tackle. And there is a flag on the play.
More flags. Michigan just cannot control themselves right now. Both teams have been chippy. These flags, I've always felt like, only hurt the team that's leading.
After the play, there's unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on both teams. On the offense, number 50. On the defense, those fouls offset. They are the first of the game for each player.
I want you to watch number 96 for Michigan State. Okay, here he is. He's pushing 51. Watch this. He clearly over, and now he's just bending him back, bending him back, bending him back. And now 50, Owenu comes on. He's like, hey, get off of my guy. He shoves him back. Runyon even throws him down. So Jacob Ponashu got away with a little bit of a cheap play. And Jim Harbaugh urging his team, think, be smart. We've got the lead. We're driving in the 4th quarter.
First down and 10 at the Michigan State 18-yard line for the Wolverines. Karan Higdon, over 100 yards rushing today. Higdon, no, it's Patterson on the fake. Patterson down inside the 10-yard line. An 11-yard gain. He pulled it out at the last moment.
His ball handling has been tremendous. Watch this fake. Great look right here. He's looking right at Kenny Willekes, and he looks down the line of scrimmage as if, oh, yeah, I'm giving it down there. And then, boom, he's out to the left and uses some of that speed to, again, move the chains with his feet. That is the difference in Michigan of 2018 versus 2017.
Last week, Harbaugh said that Patterson did a great job with his fakes, ball handling, and his running. This time, it's Higdon. And how about Jim Harbaugh? He's been criticized. He's been praised. He's been paid well. Some have felt that he's been overpaid. But he is 11 minutes away from maybe sticking a stake in the ground and making these Michigan fans true believers. They'll have next week off. Penn State comes into town the following week. Rutgers, Indiana, and then the big one.
It's been a while since Michigan fans had this amount of belief in the potential of their team. But they've got to convert here.
2nd and goal at the 5. McHugh in the motion man. They hand it off. Mason, touchdown, Wolverines. Ben Mason. And Michigan with a chance to take a 21-7 lead.
We've got this mash down, and then this tackle's going to get up. Bushel Beatty, bang, he's going to get the linebacker. And now it's hats on hats, and Mason finds the seam, leaps over a little bit, and finds himself in the end zone. What a great drive for Michigan right there. A huge drive with the way that defense is playing.
Quinn Nordine comes in to attempt the extra point. 10:21 to play in the 4th quarter, an eternity remaining for Michigan State. And the kick is good. 13-play drive covering 84 yards. Wolverines eat up 6 minutes and 41 seconds. Ben Mason pays it off with the touchdown run. 21-7. Wolverines on top of the Spartans. 21-7. Michigan leading Michigan State here in the 4th quarter. Gus Johnson, along with my partner Joel Platt and Jenny Taft. Shea Patterson has been great with his legs today.
And clutch. Hasn't just been big plays, but huge conversions. The 4th down on the last series, moved the chains inside the 10 before Ben Mason was able to hit pay dirt.
Jake Moody will kick it away. Connor Hayward back deep. First and 10 at the 25. And Lewerke rolling out of the pocket. Lewerke slide. and is at the 30-yard line. Let's check in with Jenny Taft.
Matt Allen still sidelined. He's dealing with a left ankle injury. Now, overheard telling his teammates he wanted to try to get out there, but he was wincing, limping at times, so they're being cautious with that left ankle. And we've talked about those injuries to the O-line, a big loss right now for this offense.
That battery is so crucial, in particular when you've got some elements, you've got some moisture on the ground. Now Blake Buter, who was originally a walk-on, has been moved into that center position. He's a redshirt freshman from right here in Michigan, has since earned a scholarship, playing very well.
Lewerke sprinting out of the pocket. Sowers, the intended receiver, and Ryan Lewerke has not had his best day.
No, he hasn't. And in his defense, 4 of the last 6 teams that Michigan has played have thrown the ball for 100 yards or less. Right now, he is 5 of 24 for 66 yards. You can tell that even when he has open receivers, the defense is in his head, and that the accuracy is not anywhere close to what he normally has. And that last play was a great example of that.
Lewerke 5 for 24, 3rd and 7 to the 28. Lewerke steps up in the pocket, gets out of the pocket, throws incomplete. Al Stewart, the intended receiver. Remember, Felton Davis went out of this game with an Achilles injury. Their star receiver.
They just got nothing on the outside. I mean, the matchup was tough enough, even Felton Davis on the field. They were getting Darrell Stewart back. He's won a couple of times, but Lewerke has not been sharp, and they just don't have guys right now, Gus, that can create any separation whatsoever from these Michigan defensive backs. This is an impossible task for Michigan State right now.
Tyler Hunt punting for the 11th time. Peoples-Jones lets it take a bounce. And it will be down to the 25. 9:19 to go. Michigan with the lead and the football. 21-7, Michigan leading Michigan State. Jim Harbaugh in the state of Michigan. His struggles versus arch rivals Ohio State and Michigan State are well documented. He has combined 1-5 record versus the two teams, with the lone win coming against Michigan State in 2016.
And the big thing has been turnovers, and it looked like that rain was going to be the great equalizer again in this game, but it has since stopped, and Michigan has resumed their dominance over Michigan State. Every time that, basically for the entirety of this game that it hasn't been raining, Michigan has been borderline dominant. Then during the rain, all of a sudden Michigan State came roaring back, get a couple of turnovers, get a short field, get into the end zone. The crowd came alive, and then now all of a sudden it's kind of back to that base football. Let's line up and play. And I'll tell you this right now, this Michigan team is a really good football team. Tough to beat a team that can run it, has a quarterback that can run it, and plays this level of defense.
2nd down and 4 at the 31. Higdon again.
Because I think this is a massive, massive game, and win potentially 8.5 away from it for Jim Harbaugh in this program. It's not quite fully monkey off the back, but certainly this is a tipping point game. Remember, they've got a bye coming up. Then they get Penn State at home. Then they've got a couple of very winnable games, Rutgers and Indiana, before you know what. And then all eyes in the college football world will be on Columbus, Ohio, if Michigan can get there in the top 10 with only 1 loss.
3rd down and 1. Higdon looking for the 1st down, has it. Bocce with the tackle. Higdon has been stellar.
He has, and he's going to have to continue to be stellar during the course of the back end of this season. Bye next week is going to be huge before they welcome Penn State into the big house at Rutgers, Indiana, and then on FOX in Columbus.
Higdon, 27 carries, 122 yards. This time they give it to True Wilson. And you were talking about that last road win. Let's go back. Michigan's last win versus a ranked opponent on the road, 2006. against number 2 Notre Dame. Michigan jumps out to an early lead, scoring 34 points in the first half. Mario Manningham caught 3 touchdowns from Chad Henne, and Michigan won it 47-21. Brady Quinn, our Brady Quinn, our colleague here at Fox, was Notre Dame's quarterback. And for those young fans out there watching the game, Jim Harbaugh was a terrific quarterback at Michigan and in the NFL during his playing days. Second down and 12. Higdon continuing to gain positive yards as Tyreek Thompson brings him down under 4 minutes to play.
Over those seasons, those 7 years, they were 24-32 in Big Ten play. They were not getting it done. I don't have to remind Michigan fans. Y'all were in the wilderness before this man came back to Ann Arbor, and now here you are, 6th in the country, beating Michigan State, a ranked team, on the road handily right now with 3:30 left to play, 21-7. I'd say Michigan is in a really good spot under Jim Harbaugh.
3rd down and 6 at the 49. Higdon won't get it. Ponashuk with the tackle again, so the Wolverines most likely will send this one away.
And another penalty flag late.
Add to the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 22, 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
Call it on Higdon. I'm watching a replay. All he did was get up. Unless these guys are saying something, that's the only thing I can imagine, is that there's some verbal taunting or something. But this has been, even Harbaugh is looking up like, what did you do? I couldn't see it on video up here. He just got up off the ground and got a penalty. But Michigan fans, they are all too accustomed to phantom penalties, as we know, going back to the Northwestern game.
Wow, Will Hart punting it again from the 24-yard line. Sowers is the deep man for the Spartans. And this one out of bounds inside the 15. 2:38 to go. 21-7 Michigan. They're playing for this, the Paul Bunyan Trophy. Rocky Lombardi comes in at quarterback for Michigan State. And Lombardi running it. And it'll get out of bounds after a 9-yard gain. And flag thrown, a late flag thrown.
Michael Dwumfor, number 50, was chasing after Lombardi, and a little nudge late out of bounds drew all the penalty flags.
Add to the play, personal foul. Defense, number 50, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And Lombardi actually ran right into Brian Lewerke. Thought his day was done, and then his backup quarterback ran right into his chest.
Lombardi from Iowa, played in 2 games this season so far, but has not thrown a pass. Father Tony played football at Arizona State in the early 80s. No relations to the legendary coach Vince Lombardi. Here's his first pass of the season. And a flag. Stewart, the target.
Ambry Thomas is the corner over on the far side. He's going to get called for probably a hold. Pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 1. Ball be placed at the spot of the infraction. Automatic, 1st down.
And there he is, all over Stewart as he's running down the field. And if you're just joining us, great wide receiver from Michigan State, Felton Davis, tore his Achilles tendon in this ball game. We wish him well, obviously, and a speedy recovery towards his future. But now it's going to be Darrell Stewart. He's going to be the go-to guy for this Michigan State offense on the outside.
Lombardi winds up again. And another flag. Wow.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense with a low hit, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Check out Winovich. Winovich 15. He's going to come in and he goes low to the quarterback. Lombardi wants the flag and he gets it.
So Lombardi coming in, driving the Spartans right down the field. 3 personal foul penalties on this series against Michigan.
And again, keep taking shots. Might as well get yourself potentially into the end zone. Get yourself into an onside kick position. Still life for the Spartans now in a 2-possession game with 2:13 left.
Lewerke. Lombardi rolls out of the pocket. And that ball is caught by Darryl Stewart. Short of the first down, but it's about a 9-yard pickup.
And that'll stop the clock. Michigan State still has all of their timeouts left. What a catch. Look at that left knee coming down just in bounds.
2nd and 1 at the 24. Hale coming down now. And Lombardi is roughed up and slammed. The pile drive by Devin Bush.
Well, they brought the house there. Lombardi didn't recognize it, didn't get the ball out of his hand quickly, and now the clock continues to run. Bush was unblocked all the way into Lombardi's face.
3rd down and 13. Lombardi steps up, sacked again. This time it's Michael Dwumfor. And that brings up 4th down and 13.
Just beat him on the outside. Dwumfor at the defensive tackle position. Just a little outside move. Gets back to the quarterback and in Lombardi's lap. And in 2 snaps of the football, this Michigan defense flexing some muscle.
Lombardi under pressure and incomplete. Michigan State will turn it over on downs with 1:12 remaining. And now the Wolverines can start their celebration. 7 straight wins. So the revenge tour for Michigan continues. First Wisconsin, now Michigan State. They'll have a bye and take on Penn State the following week. They hand it off to Mason.
Gus, this one makes it real. Now they're in the chase. This team is one of the few teams in America that controls their own destiny, not just in the Big Ten East, but for a college football playoff berth.
Final play of the game and it's over. 21-7 Michigan comes to East Lansing and defeats the Spartans. The Paul Bunyan Trophy will head to Ann Arbor. Final score 21-7. Michigan defeats Michigan State. Join us after the break for Colorado and Washington.